It's McCabe and Jenny here on 101.9 The Mix, and today very lucky to have in the studio Trousdale. How are you?
We're good. Happy to be here.
Yeah. We're glad you're here because you were supposed to be here at one point.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And then someone got sick.
It was me.
What happened?
I got the COVID. It was rough. But we also wanted to make sure that we didn't get anybody on Glenn's team sick, and obviously you guys, so it was like kind of a very annoying rats kind of feeling.
Yeah, but we're happy to be here now.
Yeah, we're happy you're back and healthy. And so I was just talking about your outfits.
Yes.
Like, I love that you're all color coordinated. Is this like a thing? Like, you always have to wear green, you're always pink, and you're always blue?
Yeah. It was kind of an accident. We started by wearing these jumpsuits that were in these colors, and then everyone started referring to us as our color. And we were just wearing those jumpsuits over and over again because they were expensive. So we just kept wearing them at our shows. And then we were like, let's commit to the colors. If we want to change it, we might as well stick to it. So
going back to USC, when you all first met, were you all color coordinated?
No, the color coordination didn't come until much later.
Okay. But take us back. So you guys all met at USC. Mm-hmm. Was it in a class? And who approached who? How did it all happen?
Yeah, so Georgia and I were in a songwriting class together, and we got paired up to write a song. And we started writing, and we just thought, this is kind of missing something. We need a third harmony. And Quinn had already just definitely established herself as just a harmony mastermind. And so we brought Quinn in, and we all sat in my dorm room, and we sang this song called Do Re Mi, which is actually out now. We put it out many years after we wrote it. But yeah, we sang that song together, and the rest is kind of history.
And that's how you formed Trousdale, a street near your campus.
Yes.
How does it work that you decide on a sound? Like, this is what our band is going to sound like. What's the process like when you're like, we're going to harmonize or do it this way?
Yeah, I think we all have such different tastes in music. We grew up listening to such different styles of music. We have so many different influences. And when we first started singing together, the main connection, I think, aside from being drawn to each other's, I was drawn to Lauren's songwriting style when we met. When we all sang together for the first time, the harmony aspect was so magical that we kind of followed that feeling. And I think the harmony has informed the style of songs that we've been writing. And we usually just go for whatever somebody is bringing to the table, whether it's like the lyrical start, the emotions, or the musical start. And I think we follow whatever the song is asking for. And over the years, we've dipped our toe into so many different genres that we really like, that we've now established ourselves as a band that kind of covers all different sorts of genres. And the through line is our harmonies.
How do you go about when writing a song? Do you all collaborate on it? Does someone have an idea? How does that happen?
Yeah, it's different depending on what the song is. Like for this last album, we all threw a bunch of our own personal starts into a Dropbox folder, just like short voice memos of things. And then we kind of went from there. Although our song Growing Pains, which is like the title track of our album, we started the three of us just talking and hanging out, and we wrote it from there. So it really just depends on what the start is. And we kind of will roll with whatever the story is of that. And yeah, for this last album, we just would go through the Dropbox and like pick one and be like, ooh, this feels like the right one to start with this day. And the three of us would get together and just write from there.
Yeah, it's funny. I feel like songwriting has this kind of mystical quality to people that have never written a song. But I feel like it's just like anything else. It just starts with an idea, and then you kind of just roll from there.
Mm-hmm. Now, people have compared your sound to the Chicks, but who have been some of your musical influences? Who do you love listening to?
Oh, so many people.
Yeah, definitely. Fleetwood Mac is an influence for the band. The Eagles, the Beatles, Paul Simon, Crosby, Stills, and Nash. Mm-hmm. Personally, grew up listening to a lot of Chaka Khan, Prince, Stevie Wonder, Sheryl Crow. Mindy Smith is somebody I remember the other day. A lot of influences.
Yeah, I feel like my childhood music was like the White Album specifically, just because my dad would always have that on, and
so good,
like Hot 100 radio, and then like Top Country. And now I also feel like in high school my huge musical awakening was the Twilight soundtrack. And
Oh my God.
I feel
Totally.
like that's honestly
The
so
Twilight
true.
soundtrack?
Huge.
Yes.
Supermassive black hole.
It's there's
Actually, the Paramore song.
Yeah.
Yes.
That
Oh,
one, I love that
Decode.
one.
So-
yeah,
yeah.
no,
I
it's
love
incredible.
Decode.
And what's the one? What's the like soft one when they're like dancing and she's on his feet?
Yeah, it's Iron
and Wine.
Iron and
Yes.
Wine,
Of
Naked
course.
as we came.
No, it's not. I love that song, but it's Flightless Bird.
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
Yes.
Like that soundtrack.
Yeah. She's got the
is,
cast on.
is so iconic, and I feel like so many people
It's
of
so
our
good.
generation
Yeah.
were inspired by
I feel
it.
like
Yeah.
Iron and Wine is one of the first like bands that we like talked about when we met in college.
Probably.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
the Twilight soundtrack is a huge inspiration.
Okay, now I have to know: are you more Twilight or are you more Harry Potter?
Harry Potter. Sorry, I don't know.
Quinn
Maybe
is
not right
definite-
now.
no,
Or Harry
Quinn
Potter.
is- I love the
I
shirt.
watch Harry Potter every year.
Quinn
All
is
of that.
literally definitely
Yeah.
Harry Potter. I would.
That's so millennial of me.
Oh, that's tough.
We do have a Harry Potter pop-up store on Michigan.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
Yeah. Well, it's not a pop-up store. I think it's here.
Wow.
We have to
It's
go.
here for
Okay.
good.
Should we cancel the show tonight?
Yeah,
and head
let's
there.
go. But you've been to Chicago before, right?
Yeah.
What kinds of things do you do while you're here, or is there something you're like, we have to do this when we visit?
I mean, we love having deep dish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did have some deep dish last night.
Yep.
I haven't spent a lot of time in Chicago, kind of just always headed straight to the venues. But I
Yeah.
did come here on a college trip with my dad several years ago and visited, can't remember the name of the school, the Roosevelt or is that what it's called? Yeah. Hell yeah. But walking through just that area with my dad was great. Great memories.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's all I
we
got.
passed through very quickly, so we would take any recommendations. Although, Lauren, you've probably been to Chicago more.
I
than us.
have, yes. I did do a walking tour. It was like a mobster walking tour.
Yeah, that's
which
cool.
was really fun, and it was actually the first time that I really realized that mobsters were actually like really terrifying people, and like maybe should not be
Did you think
glorified.
they were nice people?
I know. It's
like
funny.
cartoony,
Well,
maybe.
it's just like
Right.
I feel like they're so romanticized in like movies and pop culture as like the kind of fun, like sassy, like you see The Godfather, and there's like all this drama, but
Yeah.
it is you hear. I remember they told this story about Al Capone had a really amazing jazz pianist based in Chicago was going to move to New York, and he was so upset about it that he had his hand cut off.
Whoa.
And I was like, this really puts it in perspective for me how horrible this person was.
Good morning, everyone.
Hello.
Well, we learn something every day.
day.
But if you are looking for something
Yes.
a little different, I'm
Yes.
saying, look, that Harry Potter store, it did just open. It's down the street. Maybe you could pop in there
Okay.
before your show.
Yes.
Yeah.
Great
I
call.
can learn more about the mob too.
Yeah, that'd be cool too. But going back to your music, your sophomore album that you just put out, what did you want to do differently on this album?
We really wanted to capture a more live sound with this record. We had drums, bass, and electric guitar all tracked at the same time because we really wanted to have this cohesive kind of warmth to the whole record and have the opportunity for musicians to really bounce off of each other, because I think that's really where some of the magic happens and some of our favorite music. And so the whole record, almost the whole record, was recorded that way. And then we took our time with the vocals and got to really go in and do all of our crazy harmonizing stuff after the fact.
We have to be we always concentrate so much on making sure each person gets to speak. But I was just going to add that I think each of us really are showing up a little bit more on this album, vocally and experience-wise. Like, all the songs kind of focus a little bit more on different personal experiences and different personal music styles and elements of our own personal taste in music that we like. And I think we really tried to bring more of ourselves to it because it's a band, it's so much of each of us, and it's always a priority for us to feel like we're all being represented in the music. So this feels like a really cohesive blend of all of us to me, which is exciting.
I was just going to say, I totally agree. I think that there's more of a piece of each of us in this. And I think we were trying to let the songs speak for themselves more this time, and we weren't overthinking the music as much. We have our hands on everything, like every piece of the creation of the music. And I think this time we were more intentional about stepping back and letting the songs work themselves out. And I think you can hear the difference in the music if you listen to our last record and then this one. And I think they're both beautiful in their own ways too. But we're really, really proud of this one.
And a few years ago, like 4 years ago, you were noticed by the Jonas Brothers.
Yeah,
what was
we
your
were.
reaction like to that? How did it all come about?
We all love the Jonas Brothers.
Yeah, we were like, is it Nick or Joe or
Yeah.
Kevin? Like, who's looking at this?
And it was all three of them.
Yay!
Yeah, I don't remember exactly how it happened. I know that Joe Jonas, I feel like he's like online a lot, and he had commented on, we had done a cover of Old Man, and then we covered one of their songs, and then all three of them, I think, like commented on it. But I moved back in with my parents because it is hard to make a living out here.
So did I.
Yeah, thanks, Georgia. And
Nothing wrong with that.
yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
But I am living in my older sister's old room, and she had made this huge collage on her wall, like I think in like 2008, and it's still there. And there are probably like 50 pictures of the Jonas Brothers from that era on there. So it was a really beautiful moment to see that, and then like look up on the wall and see all of them on the wall. You know,
I was a Nick Jonas girly
Yeah.
for sure. I had a huge poster of him on my ceiling
yeah,
so I could look at
Honestly,
it.
so every time you woke up, you're like,
yeah.
Yeah.
If only you knew then.
If only I knew then what I know
He
now.
reposted us.
Wow.
Yeah.
well, thank you for sharing that moment. We have another moment. We have the box of possibly unfortunate questions.
Oh.
Maybe you could answer one or two from the box.
Love that.
Absolutely.
So I'll just take the little hand out and
I love
go
the little
ahead.
handle.
Oh my God.
Okay. Let's see.
Okay.
Ooh.
This says, describe your most bizarre life experience thus far. Oh, bizarre.
The first thing that came to mind for me was on our last tour, we got stopped at the border going to Canada, and we kind of all got filed out, and we did have some issues at the border. We ended up having to, like, two of us walked back by foot to the United States trying to like get some papers signed. While we were there, our van got seized, just taken. Everyone's like ripping out suitcases trying to get our personal things out. And yeah, we ended up like Ubering to our Airbnb at like 7 a.m. They had to go to Salvation Army to get new merch to sell for our show.
7 a.m. post being trying
Yeah.
to get through the border at like 2 a.m.
Yeah.
Like post show.
So that was pretty tough.
Yeah,
That was pretty bizarre.
That was pretty freaking bizarre.
Good one.
Yeah.
I know. If you want to try
We were
one
innocent
more,
though. Just for the record.
They were innocent.
We were innocent.
What is one thing that you'll never do again?
Cross into the border.
Go to Canada. Go to Canada.
Just kidding.
What did I have? What is the like fish that your dad really likes? You always say
Sardines.
sardines. I did try sardines recently, and I will never try them again.
I love that.
so
answer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My dad loves sardines.
What a random.
Yes. He literally, yeah, exactly.
Oh my gosh.
get it.
That was great. Well, you're performing Talia Hall tonight. What are you most looking forward to for your show? What can people expect?
We love playing Chicago. Like every time we come, it's just the best show. And so I think I'm just really, really looking forward to the people and the vibe because every other experience has been so exciting. I'm excited to bring our new music to Chicago, and the vibe of this tour so far, our live performance has been so exciting and so fun. And I think we're going to put on a great show, and I'm just excited for people to see it.
Agreed.
We are excited you are here, and thank you again, Trousdale, for stopping by 101.9 The Mix. Next time you're in Chicago, please come back around. Maybe we'll go to Harry Potter.
Yes.
Yes,
Get
yes,
some
yes.
pizza.
Yes.
Let's do
Do a
it.
gangster tour.
Yes.
But not sardines.
No sardines. No sardines.
Sardines.
Thank you, Trousdale.
Thank you. Thank you.